Hello everybody and welcome to Sweet Poppy Stencils July Inspiration Day. Rosemary here from the design team. Today I'd like to share this card with you as we're doing July in Christmas. We're all using the new stamps or stencils from Sweet Poppy Stencils, and I thought I'd use the new Festive bauble stamp. It's got a lovely little bird on it, as you can see. So you don't need many items for this, so it's a nice clean and simple, quick and easy Christmas card. So to start with, I've got a 15 centimeters square piece of Supersmooth card from Sweet Poppy Stencils, and I've also got, for my backing paper, I've also got a 17 by 17 square piece of Supersmooth Sweet Poppy card as well. So as you can see, this card is 6 inches square, so I've put my 3-inch mark right in the middle, just so that I can get my bauble right smack in the middle of my card. Okay, so what we need to do to start with is, what we need to do is prepare our card. So because I'm going to use embossing powder, I'm going to use my anti-static, oops a daisy, I'm going to use my anti-static bag. And then I'm going to get my stamping platform. Oops. And I'm going to place my stamp right on that little tiny dot I've got there. It doesn't look straight at the moment. That's better. There we go. So that's that. So let's press down. To pick our stamp up. So I'm using Versamark ink, clear ink, but as you can see, my ink pad has got a bit black. I did order a new. Because I'm using gold embossing powder, it's absolutely fine. You will get a little mark on your card, but because of the gold embossing powder, you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to do that twice, just to make sure. As you can see, I've got a nice impression anyway, so I know that all my ink's gone on, but I just want to make sure. So I'm doing it twice. And there we go. Quite happy with that. Now I've got my gold embossing powder. Today I'm using wow powder. It's polished gold and it's super fine. I'm going to get a piece of card underneath, and then I'm just going to sprinkle it all over. A little pat, and I can see I've just got some excess there that I don't really want, so I'll just give it a little brush with a dry paint brush. And there we are, that's perfect. So I'm just going to heat it with my heat gun. Just letting my heat gun heat up a little bit. and I can see that there are no dark marks, so I know it's all heated up. So it looks lovely. So that's the first part of our card done. So the next lot of stamping I'm going to do is the holly leaves. I've tried a variety of different holly leaves from Sweet Poppy Stencils, but these were the ones that I preferred the best. They are holly sprigs. Now, I was going to stamp the holly first, but I did it on a couple of cards and it didn't quite work for me. So when I done it with the stamping the bauble first, it was a lot better. So that's why I decided to stamp the bauble first. So I trimmed this one down a little bit so there's not much holly. Right, so I'm going to put our holly on now. And once again, I'm using the gold embossing powder, so I am going to use my bag, and I'm going to place it over like that. I'm going to pick it up, and then I'm going to wipe my, I'm a bit clumsy today, sorry. I'm just going to wipe my stamp first because it's got some powder on it, and then I'm going to ink it up with my Versamark ink. Do the same as I did last time. I'm just going to give another little stamp, and then I'm going to remove that one, and I'm going to you can just play and you can get your holly how you like your holly. This holly is going to be different from the one I've done previously. But they're sticky, and now we can take that off, and we can get our embossing powder and our piece of card. Where'd that go? There it is. And once again, I'm inking it up with gold. Just removing that excess embossing powder. And now I'm going to use my heat gun, and I will fast forward this. And there's our embossed card. I'm going to get my little rubber because you can still see the pencil mark, and I'm just going to, it's just a normal pencil rubber, just rub that little pencil mark out. There we go. That's it. And now we can start colouring. So today I'm going to be using Sweet Poppy watercolour Sweet Poppy watercolour pens, and I'm going to be using a very pale blue and a pale pink. Actually, I think the pink in set 1 is paler than that pink. Oh yes, I'll use the pink from set 1. So they're the two I'm using. I don't actually know what the names of the pens are. I'm still got to do a colour chart, which I think I need to do quite quickly because I'm using the pens quite a lot now, but I'm actually loving these now. Now, as you can see on this one, I've done the bauble itself in blue, and all the decoration like the bird and the flourishes I've done in pink, and I'm using greens and reds for the cherry, for the berries and the leaves, the holly leaves. Got a few more holly leaves on this one compared to this one. So I'm going to do, oh no, I'll do the blue first. So I'm going to do the blue first. So I've got a paintbrush and I've got my blue pen, and I'm just scribbling it onto my mat. You do get watercolour brushes with the pens, but I just wanted a finer nib, so that's why I'm using a paintbrush. And then all I did was I just brushed the ink over. Now, just dab it off. And what's happened is I've accidentally gone into one of my pink areas with my brush. So I'm just going to go in and rub over that and then lift it. And it actually lifts it away, like so. So then I can do this little bit here. There's a little bit down here as well. I've taken some blue out of that one because that was a bit dark. I want this one a little bit paler, so I'll just give it a little bit of colour there, like that. It's just nice to have a play. As with any other watercolour pens, the more water you use, the paler they are. But it does pick up very well. These are brilliant. I think they're great watercolour pens. I'm really loving using them. There we go. So that's the blue done. So what I did as well was I gave a little bit of blue to the ribbon. And then I just added some pink as well. So they're the two colours that we're using. Now I'm going to use the pink one. So once again, I'm placing it down on my mat. Spraying out some water. And I'm just going to do the decoration part of the bauble now, which is the flourishes and the little bird. I don't know, do you think he's like a robin, maybe? Looks like a little bit of a robin. Now we're going back to our ribbon part. And I also did these little beads. In pink as well. So that's our card so far. So the next colouring we'll do is our holly leaves. And for our holly leaves, I'll use 2 greens. Use one from set 1 and one from set 2. So there are 2 greens we use. This one is from set 1 and this one's from set 2. So let's wipe all that up now. So with the darker one, I did the veins of the leaves. So I just went over veins. Practicing with this card over the last couple of weeks. It's given me the incentive to actually start making some Christmas cards. So that's the veins done. Pink, and this is the paler one, which I used for the actual leaves themselves. Whoops, that was a big blob. Used a nice pale colour on these outside, on the main part of the leaf itself. There's the red. Need some clean water though. Otherwise we might end up with a very dirty red. Right. So okay, and that's our colouring finished. Okay, so the last thing we need to do on our actual card is to stamp our sentiment. So we've got our stamping platform. Now let's put the card at the bottom and put it in a corner this time. Put that in the bin. So we are using the Christmas word from the Eat, Drink and Be Merry set. So Eat, Drink and Be Merry set has this Christmas word in it. Got a bit of fluff on it. Right. So, and I'm also going to use embossing powder to emboss this as well. Take that away. So we're using our versamark, and once again I'm using a double. I'm going to put that a bit more on it. Piece of card and our embossing powder, same embossing powder as last time. Wow, ultra fine or super fine gold embossing powder. Oh gosh. Let's get the embossing powder set first. Right, as you can see, I made this drastic mistake of picking up the brush with ink on it. But I'm not going to heat set my embossing powder yet because I might set that ink. So hopefully, if I wipe it now. Oh, look at that. It might come off. Now that was worth trying. So there we go. You won't see that mark when it's dry now because that's just a little bit of water. So, save the day. I've got to do my video again. Okay, so I'm just going to heat emboss my sentiment. And then I'll be back with you. So that's our card finished, or I should say that's our topper finished. So now we're going to mount our card onto its base. But before we do that, a piece of paper and a Sharpie. Now I always use a piece of card because I'm just going to drag it down just to show the layers more. And I'll use a piece of card so it doesn't slip and make a nasty big black mark all over your card. And then I would stick it onto a 7x7 card, and that's what we will have. As you can see, I cut this one down, so you could leave it that size or you could cut it down a little bit smaller. That one I think is 5.5 by 5.5, and this is just over 6 inches. I have got just a few ideas to share with you. So with this one, I did some holly down the bottom as well. I'm going to trim it down there just so as it's all in line, and colour that one in. This one, I used the holly from the new robin stamp that's available from Sweet Poppy Stencils. I've coloured this in a pale green and a lemon. This one is the pink and blue again, and also done with the holly from the robin. This one I've done in lavender and lemon. Quite like that one as well. And this one is the Tombow inks paints that go all different colours. I can't remember what they're called. I tried on both sides with that one. And this is another holly set from Sweet Poppy Stencils. And this is another one. That's the other holly set. I can't remember the name of it. But that's blue and pink as well. I quite like the blue and pink, but I like the green and lemon, and I like the lavender and lemon as well. So anyway, I hope you've got some ideas from that. And this is the card I've made today. And that's another one I made earlier. So I hope you enjoyed my demonstration. I wish you all a happy July. Have fun, enjoy the holidays, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.